So you want to journal about people pleasing. We're all people pleasers, really. It's how a lot of us have been raised, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. Being a people pleaser makes us feel dumb and stupid when someone calls us a people pleaser. We know we're doing it. We know sometimes we can be a bit stupid with it, but at the same time, we're just trying to do the right thing by other people, and we think by ourselves. And while it's very important to be of service to other people, sometimes we can overcompromise our own needs and wants. Maybe you're a seasoned journaler, or maybe you journal all the time, or you're just getting into it and people pleasing is something you do feel you want to work on. Well, we're going to cover a load of prompts in this video that might help you get writing about the old people pleaser in you. So I'm going to come out with some things that may provide examples for you. So people pleasing, let's get on. Being too nice when you don't really want to be. And whilst you don't want to be nasty, maybe you're overly nice. Maybe you're overly nice to people you don't even like that much. And you feel that that's what naturally comes out of you. This person hates me, so I'm going to be double nice to them. But it's a common thing. It's almost like we fear that person because they don't like us, when really we could just be irritating their demons. I mean, and vice versa. Over-apologising, over-thanking. When someone does something nice for you, it gives you a good turn. Saying thanks a million times. Feeling like you have to then give back straight away. Or feeling funny about somebody giving you something. Maybe you have a problem receiving gifts or receiving something nice. Maybe you always feel that there's something bad behind it or some kind of agenda behind it. And maybe in some situations there are agendas behind it. But there are people that may give to you out of the goodness of their hearts, whatever that is, anything from their time to something important to them that they've given to you. And there's no agenda other than that they want you to have it. Or they're giving you their time because you're important to them. Over-apologising. When you feel you've overstepped the mark. Sometimes saying sorry for something that you're not even sorry about. Like when someone bumps into you and you say sorry. And it was like, well, they say sorry at the same time, but, you know, they bumped into you. They weren't looking where they were going. What are you supposed to do? Move out of the way. Having no healthy boundaries with people. So feeling like you have to say yes to things that you don't want to say yes to. And maybe people know that, and maybe you've given to them in the past and they assume that you're going to keep giving with whatever it is. Going along with the agenda of others. Things you might not agree with. They may cross your values, your morals. Might irritate your moral code, but you go along with it because you don't want the confrontation of disagreeing with the ringleader or whoever is wanting you to go in that same direction as them, but it might not be for you. Agreeing when you secretly disagree. I used to do this a lot back in the day because it was just easier. But it's not easier because then you don't get heard and you feel silenced some more because you've not allowed yourself the possibility of a disagreement. And maybe you're around people where you give your opinions about something and you don't mean anything personal about it just because you don't agree with somebody else. Why are they getting personal about it? Or even, and this can happen a lot to people pleasers because a lot of you's not coming out and seeing it for what it is, and you like that esteem in yourself to people please in the first place. No judgment, we'll do it. Disagreeing with people when they don't agree with you. Taking it as a personal attack when it's not. Getting irritated by someone who doesn't agree with you, or you getting irritated by something that doesn't agree with them. By something they don't like. But don't feel like you can say anything about it. So with these, thinking of times, places maybe, where you felt that these things have happened, where they ring true for you. Accepting people's negative behaviours. Accepting people's negative behaviour. Someone took the piss. Someone was rude to you. Someone may have shown narcissistic traits. And you've forgiven it, but you've not forgotten it. And you never voiced it, that it was wrong. So you never established a boundary there. A boundary got missed, meaning that other person knows that they can cross that boundary again in future. Meaning that at some point you would have to stand up to them anyway. but avoiding it in maybe that moment because you just couldn't be arsed with the fight. Rarely speaking up or expressing your feelings. Feeling like maybe what you have to say isn't valid. Maybe you don't want to speak up. Maybe you feel it's nothing to do with you. But if your inner voice is starting to really want to give your opinion and you feel just button it. And you could absolutely speak up because it wouldn't do any harm. But you silence yourself. So that voice never gets heard. That opinion never gets expressed. That complaint never gets aired. That chat never happens because you cannot speak up for fear of hurting somebody else, for fear of offending somebody else, for fear of a difficult, prickly situation appearing, letting people walk all over you. It's easy done when our boundaries are low, that people are going to walk all over us. And sometimes we can completely lay the blame at their door for walking all over us. And yeah, they shouldn't. You know, they should know right from wrong too, right? But if you're allowing it, you have a responsibility there to yourself as well as to them. If they don't know your boundaries, then yeah, if they're a half-decent person, they would not disrespect them anyway. But if there's people out there that don't know your boundaries and think they can get away with that, whatever it is, then it's going to feel like they're walking all over you because they're going to do it again, whatever it is. Feeling compelled to explain or defend your behaviours. Maybe you did have a rare moment of rebellion and you were met with criticism or resistance or a fight. And then you were dealing with somebody that may not get it and you were over-explaining it. Why you behaved like that? Why you got out of control when you were drunk last week? Whatever it was. Over-explaining why you were like that. Really taking it apart. Giving the other person a chance to possibly, if they're not a good person, seek advantage in that somehow. Saying yes when you want to say no. Maybe you're being put upon by somebody and you don't want to say no to that person because it's not that you don't want to do them a favour indefinitely. It's just that if you keep saying yes, that person's going to put on you more and more. And you feel like you can't say no, or it's just going to cause an awkward atmosphere if you say no to whatever it is you're being asked of. Avoiding criticism and feedback because you take it to a personal space of, I'm not good enough. Something else that derives with people pleasing. That feeling of not feeling good enough. So knowing what it is to hopefully feel good enough in other people's eyes because you've been doing it for so long, that's all you know. Seeking approval from everyone. So not being okay with that one person in the room out of 50 that doesn't agree with you on something and you feeling like that's the only opinion that matters. Even if you had 49 people that were completely had your back, you'd be hung up on the person disagreeing with you. And it's important to you that they agree. And yet, it isn't. It just isn't. But feeling like it is means there is something in yourself that maybe needs to be addressed at why their opinion matters so much. When you're confident this is something you want to do. Feeling that you'd be rejected for expressing how you feel or think. So, like I say, if you're in some kind of debate and you do have a different opinion on something and somebody asks you for your opinion and you don't feel comfortable critiquing or giving that opinion because you fear the person, they're not going to like what I've got to say on this. So you silence yourself again for fear of hurting that person or upsetting when really your view could be very valid, but you hold yourself back because you don't want to upset the other person. A lot of these things that are coming up are all about not upsetting people as well as trying to do the right thing by people. They all boil down to you not being yourself fully, silencing yourself all the time. I wonder if you get sore throats often. if you, especially somebody that really does have to bite down on their words, because it can affect your throat chakra. So you might just put it down to like seasonal colds and things, and maybe it is some of them, but there could be times where you're getting sore throat all the time, and it could be because you're not saying those words. So you end up blocking your throat chakra, because there's energy there when you're wanting to come out of something, when you're wanting to express yourself, when you're wanting to give an opinion that might, even if it does differ from everybody else's, and it put you in a place of, oh, I'm that person that disagreed when everybody else agreed, making you feel like you're being rebellious or awkward, when not. It's just your opinion, and you deserve to express that. All this is trapped energy then. And it then causes an imbalance in the throat chakra, which are the energy centers. The chakras are the energy centers in our body. That affected, you can get sore throats, suppressed anger. You may have heard that sore throat can be suppressed anger. Absolutely. Putting everybody's feelings and wants and needs before your own. Because get them all sorted first, and then I can take care of me. Oh, there's no energy left for me. You can't pour from an empty cup. And you need to serve you too, so you can be of better service to other people. Following on from this, not saying what you want or need. So making sure everybody else is happy, but your happiness and your needs are not getting met because you're not saying them, you're not voicing them. And that, for a long time, can then result in resentment, bad feeling, ill feeling. And yeah, it's yourself that is responsible and accountable to be able to say and express what it is you need to express and fulfill your needs. Avoiding negotiation and difficult conversations. I get it. I do. There's some things that we just procrastinate and put off and put off. Sometimes these difficult conversations may mean you fear criticism from somebody else. You don't want a row. You're scared of what that person might say to you. Maybe things are on shaky ground with a friendship, or a person that you're with, or somebody in your workplace, or a family member. You may have had a bit of a row. Some things were said and there's no takesy backses, but you know you have to clear the air, and you don't want to because it's awkward. You fear that you could upset somebody worse maybe, and the damage has been done. But really, things are still hanging in the air there, and it may be something that needs to conclude. Giving advice when it's inappropriate to, because maybe you feel you have to. Maybe a friend has come to you for help and you think that maybe you have to say the right thing or give advice, when really that person might just need to be heard. They might not need anything from you other than your kind ear, and you may feel you're giving advice because you feel that's what they're asking for, and they might not be. They might just want to be heard. That, again, people pleasing, over-giving, rather than just, when your ear is enough, your kind ear. Trying to rescue other people. Being a rescuer, wanting to help people. And there's something noble in that. If it comes at a detriment to yourself, your self-worth, your energy, then that's when you maybe need to step back. Rescuing other people, it can leave you in codependent relationships, codependent friendships, where you're trying to put all the energy in for you and the other person, and they're not putting as much in because you're putting it all in. So you're overcompensating again because you're trying to keep that ship up. You're trying to keep things going. Seeing people that need help when really they might need professional help. They might need support, but you could be taking on things of other people. And yes, it's important to be supportive of our people. But again, if it's something that is beyond what you can give that person, but trying to, and maybe not seeing that, thinking that lands with you, you have to take that on, that responsibility, that job, when really it could be that another person might need to help that person. Being able to step back and not feeling like it's something you have to fix, or they are someone you have to fix. So that's it for the journaling prompts. I hope that's helped you. I hope that's got the brain going. And we'll be doing other self-sabotaging behaviours that can occur. Subscribe to the channel if you want, and I'll see you later.